and he arrived. You know the details in between. The master was pleased with the first two servants, but cast out the third servant into the darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, Bawumia is an example of the good and faithful biblical servant because he has served Ghana well and deserves commendation and reward. The master in verses 28 and 30 made the following declarations, and I quote, "So, take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken." Alternative, because Bawumia will expand healthcare access by completing the Agenda 111 projects, equipping and operationalizing them, and ensuring job satisfaction for all healthcare professionals. Bawumia is a better choice for us on December 7th and December 2nd and 7th, because Bawumia will be accountable to Ghanaians because it has 8 years allowable under the 1992 Constitution to be president. Therefore, he will necessarily deliver on these promises, some of which I have read to you, in order to merit your gifting him of a second chance when the time comes. Unlike the alternative, who has only 4 years to go, and later on I'll tell you about his own assessment of having 4 years and what he can do with 4 years. Bawumia again is a better option. And as I told you earlier, he's been described variously. One of such impactful and perhaps relevant description of him, which comes from people's experience of him, is that he is a thinker and a doer. And much of these ideas that we've spoken about, most of them are very new and decisive ideas. Just how we can be able to arrest the depreciation of the city and be able to bring down fuel costs in our country. And it comes up with this Gold for Oil initiative, which has helped in the limited period of time, which has helped to earn Ghana about 2.79 billion in foreign exchange to settle our obligations. That is incisive. And beyond that, I want to just let you know, Ghana, you have heard growing up, and if you go to Obuasi and many of the mining communities, we have been mining in this country for forever. But our own balance of gold, our gold reserve, was just about 9 tons when we started the gold purchase program by the Bank of Ghana. Can you imagine that? A gold mining company, a gold mining country. And all our reserve is 9 tons. About 8.7 tons was what we had to our name. But gold is a prized mineral. All we had was 8.9. By Dr. Bawumia's innovation and policy idea, we have started the Bank of Ghana Gold Purchase Program. Our reserve has incrementally gone up, and I think that with time, we'll probably become one of the countries in the South region with the highest gold reserve, and that will be good for our economy, that will be good for our currency, and that will be good for our collective prosperity. Dr. Bawumia, again, is good and better for Ghana because Bawumia's economic plan is designed to make the Ghanaian youth globally competitive through his focus on information technology, coding and programming, robotics, AI, and the Internet of Things. That is a future economy, and Bawumia's ideas would put the Ghanaian on the center stage and make us competitive. And one of the reasons for this is that the globe is trending that way. AI is taking over. If we make a mistake and elect the alternative, they have no idea, they don't believe in it. They don't believe in it, their ideas don't align with my candidate, the vice president, or our parliamentary candidates, but it's just plain truth. And the NDC doesn't have it. They don't have it. Honestly, they don't. And you've been here, I've come here to tell you about their 24-hour economy. It's a great deception. Those who cannot keep the lights on for 12 hours say that they can give us 24-hour economy. It's a great deception. We shouldn't do that. The consequence of any election is enduring and in some cases generational. And we cannot afford to make this mistake. This is a pivotal moment for our country, and the decision we are going to make, we cannot take it personally, we cannot make it lightly, we should make it looking at the impact it would have on the future of our country and beyond. So I submit to you that Bawumia should be our choice. Bawumia means business, which means that he's better for Ghana. He would integrate the private sector into fiscal policy operations to deliver critical infrastructure, create meaningful jobs, and increase productivity. And most of us, we talk about roads, we talk about hospitals, talk about schools, and all of that. One of the ingenious ways Dr. Bawumia is proposing is that we'll include the private sector in the delivery of this infrastructure. And you know, always you pay attention to the budget. When you look at government allocation for capital expenditure, permit me to be a bit more pastoral at this point. I'm sure you recall the parable of the bag of gold in Matthew 25:14 through 30. I summarize for you. A master entrusted his wealth to 3 of his servants. He gives 5 bags to one, 2 bags of gold to another, and 1 bag of gold to the third. The first 2 servants doubled the gold and returned it to the master upon his return. The third servant went straight and buried the bag of gold in the field and returned it to the master when he arrived. You know the details in between. The master was pleased with the first 2 servants, but cast out the third servant into the darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, Bawumia is an example of the good and faithful biblical servant because he has served Ghana well and deserves commendation and reward. The master in verses 28 and 30 made the following declarations, and I quote, "So, take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them, and throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." How do you say that? This is the Bible. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is an example of the biblical wicked and lazy servant who did not live up to expectation in his 4 years as president of this republic. Ladies and gentlemen, like the master in Matthew 25, Ghanaians must vote on December 7th, or maybe let me go back a bit. Like the master, we voted in 2016 to cast out John Dramani Mahama because he had not met expectation. Somehow in 2020, he thought that the verdict on him in 2016 was a flash in the pan. So he came again in 2020, and we roundly confirmed that our decision was absolute and clear in 2016. So again, we voted him out. He thought himself he didn't understand. He went to the court, didn't have any evidence, and he was roundly rejected. The unanimous verdict against his bogus claim, the petition, the 2021 petition, election petition, was roundly rejected, just like the Ghanaians. Now, in 2024, he's going to try us again. He's trying us again. And with all humility, I entreat us all to give the NPP a landslide victory in a way to retire the former president permanently from politics. We must reject former President John Dramani Mahama because his 4 years as president brought untold hardship to Ghanaians. He slept in doom so during those years. Businesses were destroyed, youth employment broke world records, and the growing economy he inherited was collapsing by the time he left office. Most revealing is the fact that former President John Dramani Mahama gave up when his mismanagement made life difficult and Ghanaians demonstrated to demand better economic management. He said no amount of demonstration, and I'm sure you remember this, he said no amount of demonstration will move him because he was a dead coat. Ladies and gentlemen, the balance of a leader's job is dealing with challenges. But from what we have seen from the former president, he has shown that he cannot deal with challenges. Therefore, on December 7th, we must vote to show the former President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC that we, the people of Ghana, cannot afford the risk of electing a president who cannot respond to our needs in challenging times. The former president did not perform well. This is essentially a matter known to all of us, and it's evident in the vote in 2016 and 2020. Not performed well in office between 2013 and 2016. So he does not merit the reward, and given the scripture, we should not reward him. This is especially true when all he has is 4 years. And here's where I promised you I will tell you about his own view about 4 years and what one can use it to do. He says 4 years is not enough to make a difference as a government. And so the question is, what has changed? The question is, what is it coming to be? The question is it now true that 4 years is enough to make a difference? Those are questions I know our former president cannot answer, which then goes to the heart of why we shouldn't vote for him, because he can't make any difference. He himself has said it, and it's a practical impossibility for him to do it. But rather, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has what it takes, has the allowable 8 years.